Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 35th episode of my Rails of Industry Minecraft series. In today's episode, I'm going to be installing some high-speed rail between here and my old base, and then in between episodes, I will be installing some more high-speed rail between here and the end portal, because it's a really long journey and being able to get there a little bit quicker will help me out in the future. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler. Haha. So let's get started. Anyways, so the first thing I need to do is I need to make some high-speed rail, and the high-speed rail is made quite differently, or I guess kind of quite differently than the regular track. The components are different, but the format, I guess, is kind of the same. You got your rails on the edges and then your rail bed in the middle. However, the high-speed rails are made with steel, blaze powder, and gold ingots. So let's get some of that stuff. So let's get gold ingots, blaze powder, and steel ingots, if I can spell correctly, which apparently I can't. And we will need a rolling machine. I do have a rolling machine in this building. It is down in the basement. It is right here, and actually I've already built some of these things, but so that you can see exactly how it's done, we just put the steel over here, the gold on the right side, and the blaze powder in the middle, and the rolling machine will make plenty of those rails. In addition to that, I need a new rail bed, because we're not using the wooden rail beds that these tracks use. We are using different rail beds. We are using stone rail beds, I believe is what they are called. So let's take a look at those. So the stone rail bed is made of 4 stone ties, and the stone ties are actually made with bags of cement, which are nether quartz and gravel. I do have this automated. You can also use, I guess, some of this ground blast furnace slag. And then you need rebar, which is made in the rolling machine, which can be made with iron, bronze, refined iron, invar, steel, or dark steel. I chose to make mine out of iron ingots and steel ingots, so I do have plenty of them made up. And then in addition to make the stone ties, you need some water. And I have lots of buckets of water to do that. So let's go ahead and request a bunch of these guys. I do have this automated already. And actually, I don't actually need to do that because we can just go ahead and do the rail. So let's get the high speed, let's just go ahead and automate this so that we can make plenty of these. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. I'm going to request 1,000. I know that's more than I need for right now, but in the future I will definitely be needing lots of them, because if we take a look, I do have a waypoint for the end portal and it is over 1,000 meters away. So I will need lots and lots of these tracks between here and there. So let's go ahead and request 1,000. That shouldn't be a big deal at all, and it doesn't look like it is. I do have lots of buckets of water in my system, so that is not a problem. So we will also need some booster track here. So let's take a look. We don't need the regular booster track, although we will need some of this to stay installed. We're not going to be changing the entire track. We are just going to be changing some of the track. We do need the high-speed booster track. So to make that, we will need to make booster track kits. And booster track kits are made like this. I'm not sure if I have any advanced rails. I think I do. Let's take a look. I do, so that's cool. I should have some track parts as well, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So let's go ahead and throw this in the system, and then I should be able to add this here and make the booster track, if I can find it, high-speed booster track. And how many should I make of these guys? Let's go ahead and do 200. I actually have ME system capability for most of the trip over there, so if I don't grab quite enough, that won't be too much of a problem. Okay, so it looks like for whatever reason the ME system doesn't want to craft these things. So I will have to do this manually, but that's not too big of a deal. I do think everything stacks, so yeah, not a big deal at all. Let's go ahead and grab as many as we can, and then the booster tracks. Let's see if we can't go ahead and do this right here. It looks like we can, so that's cool. Not really sure why the ME system doesn't want to do this, but whatever. We can get them this way. So in addition to the booster track and the regular high-speed track, we do need some additional track. I believe it's called transition track. So high-speed transition track is what it's called. So let's take a look. The transition track kit actually isn't that much different than the booster track kit. Just looking at it, we have 2 advanced rails, track parts, and wood as well. So let's go ahead and throw this in the system. I am running out of room in here, unfortunately. So let's grab, I think I only need 2 of these, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to grab 10, and by 10 I mean 16 because that's how they're made. They're made in groups of 16. So what I need to do now is this first portion of the track is going to remain the same. And that is because we need these transition tracks here to actually transition from low speed to high speed. And I grabbed booster track. I need the transition track. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have this issue that I had before to where this doesn't want to replace the track. I will have to place this down. Let's grab a crowbar here and let's actually get rid of this invalid thing that I have. And I'm not sure if I can have this going both ways. So this one right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it be pointing this way, and then I'm going to have another transition track right here. And let's actually do this. Let's point it the other way, and I do want this transition track to have redstone signal, and I didn't grab any redstone torches or anything. So let's grab some redstone torches because these things do need signal, or on the speeding up side they need signal. Okay, so if I remember how these things work, is that if you do not give them redstone signal, they will slow carts down to be regular speed. Once you give them redstone signal, they will speed up carts to be to the high speed. If you do not have these transition tracks and you are attempting to get a cart up to high speed, I believe it will derail in a lot of the cases anyways. I'm not sure if it will always derail, but I think that's how that works. So hopefully I'm not too far off base with that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace all of the track here with high-speed track, and then all of the booster track with the high-speed booster track. So it looks like, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get rid of all of this booster track. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera because this is going to take quite a long time. I have to manually remove all of the booster track with either a crowbar or a pickaxe, and it looks like a crowbar is going to be quite a bit quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the booster track in between here in my old base, and I'm going to replace it with this booster track, and then I will be right back. So I now have all of the high-speed track installed. However, I am going to make a few changes to how I have either end of the track set up. First off, I'm going to include more transition tracks that slow the cart down, and hopefully that will keep the carts from derailing. I've just been doing a little bit of reading because it's been a long time since I've played with the high-speed rails, and it seems that they are quite dangerous and they do take quite a bit to slow down. So let's go ahead and move this towards right here. Let's move it right here. So I'm going to have 2 speed up transition tracks, but I'm going to have, I think, 4 of these slow down transition tracks. So let's install those now, and I just did the same stupid thing that I did before. Let's go ahead and get rid of these tracks. Let's get rid of that for right now. So my transition tracks will need to be, and actually I need it to not connect up with that. I'm gonna need to move this redstone track, or this right to right here, I think will work, and then this booster track can go back here. And the transition or the high-speed track does not connect up with the regular track in terms of redstone, so that's why I'm not getting a redstone signal for these 4 tracks right here. So let's go ahead and do a quick test of this system. Now, one thing I should note is that I'm pretty sure that the cart will crash when it gets to the end here, and that's because I don't have anything slowing it down before the corner, and from everything I've read, it will crash. So let's go ahead and test this without me in it first, because I don't want to die. So let's go ahead and set this down. Let's have a snack. Let's hit this. Let's see if she derails. I'm pretty sure it should derail once it gets to the corner. If it doesn't, I'm going to be surprised. What? From what I've read, it's not supposed to be able to go around the corner like that. it should have died. Well, maybe it just slowed down. I'm gonna go ahead and say it just slowed down. So let's go ahead and get some more booster track here. And just put it back where it was before. So actually, it's a lot easier if I use these track kits rather than manually apply them. So let's go ahead and put these back. However, I'm going to have some slowdown transition tracks here. So let's go ahead and put those here and here. And let's see if it gets around the corner this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... let's say put it right here. I'm not sure if this will work like intended though. Oh yeah, she derailed. The thing is, it didn't destroy anything. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of these booster tracks. And let's see if it derails this time. I'd rather this thing not derail with me in it, but you never know. Let's set it back here a little ways. Give it a good slap. Come on. Okay, so that's definitely slowed it down. I need to... let's try to get some transition tracks. Let's get rid of that. And let's have transition tracks. Try to get these things back up to speed. And I think this will work because they are pointed. I don't think they will speed up carts going the opposite way of the arrows on the track, but I could be wrong. So, of course, let's test this again, and let's see if this will work. I think the transition tracks are just like booster tracks, except they operate in one direction. So I think that's going to work. Let's really hope that that's going to work because I want to take a ride in this thing. Let's see if this is going to work after all. So before the trip took something like 1.5 minutes on this line, I'm hoping to almost cut that in half. I'm kind of hoping about 50 seconds will be what the trip will take. So let's see if that'll be the case. So let's plop this down. Let's hop in and hopefully I don't die. So let's go. So yes, this is much faster, I can tell. Let's see. Do these transition tracks actually actively slow me down? It looks like they do. So actually, I should be able to use that to my advantage. Holy... okay, we're flying now. My goodness, this is a lot faster. So let's see if we derail here at the end. I do have 4 transition tracks that should slow me down. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, nothing. You're nothing. Look at that. Okay, so I'm a little bit wary that we will die right here. Shoot. Oh yeah. She didn't like that at all. So I'm wondering if I just if I alter the transition track to be pointing this way, and then I add one more so that they are all powered, but they're all pointing this way. I think they actively slow down the cart if it's going in the opposite direction. And if that's the case, this will be pretty easy to get right because I'll just have a crap load of these transition tracks. I think they do. It looks like they do. So let's go ahead and test this going the other direction. And we'll probably explode there at the end of the track on the other side. But it looks like I survived quite easily. So that won't be a problem. And here we go. This is quite nice. Because this is quite quick. So I should be timing this, but I'm not. But like I said, this is obviously a lot faster than it was before. I wonder if I'm going to catch that cart before we get to the end of my line. Obviously, that cart is traveling the speed that I would have... okay, I'm a little bit worried. Oh, we made it. Oh yeah, we caught you. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is... okay, yeah, we exploded right as we hit this right here. So we don't have enough transition track. However, if I put some transition track right here and I toggle these around, I think that'll be all right. So let's try this one last time, and hopefully there are no explosions, no casualties. So let's go. Okay, so I am timing this now, so let's see how long this takes. And knowing that, I need to change how I have that corner configured. We're gonna pass this thing again. I'm enjoying myself. So obviously you do have to build these high-speed tracks very carefully, otherwise you get crashes like I've been experiencing. Hopefully I've resolved the issue right here. It looks like I have, so that's fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, I'm going to call this a good build. I'm probably going to tinker with how I have that corner set up, because now that I know the transition tracks will actually slow carts coming against the arrows down, we can alter that a little bit. But on the flip side, I know that this works. I know that it's really, really fast, and that's awesome. So in today's episode, I built some high-speed track. It will allow me to get to my old base quite quickly. I'm also going to install a high-speed track line between here and the end portal, because I will need to be traveling back and forth a little bit to that end portal, because I have a project in mind in the end. And so that'll just be really super useful for me. But anyways, this was kind of a proof of concept, and it does work. I know how to do this now, so that's awesome. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation in modern Minecraft, that's typically what I do. So definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.